Ukrainian volunteers from the organization Kharkiv Help are working in a city only 10 kilometers away from the front lines.
We're rescuing civilians and the wounded from the shelled areas. Our cars have been shelled many times.
Before the war, Maslow was working as a clothing designer in Kiev, but after Russia invaded, he founded Kharkiv Help to help rescue civilians.
On day 2 of the war, I signed up to join the volunteers. I was with my mother in Kharkiv, and at the time everyone was leaving the city. Hostilities were taking place. Russian tanks were entering the city and help was needed here. So I didn't go to Kiev. I stayed.
The volunteers include 2 young men from the United States who met each other 10 years ago and have been friends ever since. 21-year-old Karsten came here in March.
I've read about the conflict in Donbass, and I've been reading about that since I would say 2016 or 2017. So I already knew a bit about what was going on here and the separatism and just the war in general. And now that it's gotten to this point where it's just become a massive human catastrophe, I felt like it was time to do something about it.
In September, 20-year-old Lucas joined Karsten in Ukraine.
Just seeing how this war has developed, it's really become an unprecedented situation in our lifetimes. And I just wanted to help in any way that I could.
As Voice of America was filming this story, volunteers, including Karsten and Lucas, were tasked with removing a disabled woman out of the constantly shelled area. Voice of America is not naming the city, since Russian forces have targeted volunteer vehicles many times before.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Because the convoys carrying civilians have been shelled constantly, some locals refuse to leave when volunteers come for them, Maslow says.
A lot of people are scared. They hear about cases where civilians are shot. Some of them prefer to sit in terrible conditions underground and are afraid to move. 300 meters away, we have a bunker where about 15 elderly people are sitting.
Local resident Maya runs to volunteers when she sees them. She wants them to pick up 2 disabled people from the hospital where she works.
It'll be really cold soon, and they may freeze there and die.
There's no more space in the car, so that's a job that must wait until tomorrow. Kosstutschenko for VOANews, Kharkiv region, Ukraine.